guys, good morning from the Philippines. My name is Ai, and I'm from the number one music channel in the Philippines, Mix. Welcome to this MYXclusive interview. Today we have an artist from this band who just released Be Sweet from their upcoming album Jubilee, which they also performed on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. And we are here to get to know more about their band, their music, and basically where they came from and what we love about their music. So please welcome Michelle Zahner of Japanese Breakfast. Woohoo!
Hi.
Hi, Michelle. Welcome to the Philippines, at least virtually.
Thank you very much. I wish I was in the Philippines right now.
Where are you right now, if I may ask?
I'm in New York right now. Yeah, and it's late here, so it was like different energy of like getting ready to be on this show, definitely.
Oh shoot, what time is it there now?
It is 10 p.m.
Oh, it's 10 a.m. here. Well, thank you for giving us some of your time before bed.
Thank you for having me. The waiting room music got me really pumped to be on the show. So.
Oh, yes, the intro. Yes, that's such a nice beat. But where are you right now? Is that like your studio in Brooklyn? You have a nice setup there.
Thank you. This is my studio. I'm actually in upstate New York, like
Oh.
4 hours outside of the city. Kind of like in the countryside. Yeah, doing some work up here.
Ooh, so are you doing new songs there? And would it be just you, or do you mostly do it with the whole band?
I mostly do it with our live drummer, who's also the co-producer on our last 2 records, Jubilee and Soft Sounds from Another Planet. But right now I'm just kind of like hanging out and doing a lot of like rehearsing for live streams and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. But have you ever been to the Philippines, Michelle?
Yeah, we played Summer Noise like 2 years ago, and we had a really good time. I remember very vividly like the traffic.
Yes, you would remember that vividly. Like
Yeah.
it's like one of the worst in the world.
Yeah. It was pretty wild. We were all pretty shocked.
But did you get to try like other stuff here in the Philippines, like the food?
We
What can
had
you
some
remember?
food. I mean, I have a lot of Filipino friends in the US, and I was like
Ooh.
really keen on trying like a good adobo. I don't know if I've like had it. I definitely really want to have it, but I feel like I had such a short period of time there that I didn't get to try like a legit adobo. So next time I go, I definitely want to have that.
Well, now that you've proclaimed it to like everyone here in the Philippines, we'll make sure to
Yeah,
bring you
please.
adobo
Yeah.
next time.
I did have some sweet spaghetti like in the morning time.
Oh yes, our spaghetti is like not the usual Italian sour one.
Yeah.
Like all our food is definitely sweet. So thank you. I really believe you when you say you remember your
I
trip there, because
do. I
sometimes
do.
artists say, "Oh yeah, I remember my trip there. It was nice." We
It
were
was
like,
very
okay.
hot, and there was really bad traffic, and I was on the hunt for good chicken adobo and didn't really get it.
That's definitely the Philippines. All right. Now, Michelle, if you don't mind, because there might be some viewers here who might just be getting introduced to Japanese breakfast now through this interview. So we'd like to get to know you from your roots. So can you tell us how Japanese breakfast started?
Yeah, the project started in 2016. I wrote an album called Psychopomp that was largely about my mother passing away from cancer in 2014. And so it was a really very raw and vulnerable album. And I didn't expect this type of reaction. You know, I had played in
Mm-hmm.
bands for a long time beforehand, and no one was ever really interested in me. And so I was working another job when that album started to take off, and surprisingly it did really well, and the first US tour that we went on was with Mitski, and we kind of just gained popularity after that, and came out with another record called Soft Sounds from Another Planet, and we toured in Asia and for the first time in the Philippines, I think in 2019 for Summer Noise we played, and had a really great time. And I'm really lucky that we've become bigger artists, and because I'm half Korean and part Asian, I've told my label it's really important for me to get to go on tour in Asia. I love touring in Asia, so we've had a couple of opportunities to tour there, and it's something I really want to do more. So I'm really glad to be speaking with the the number one music
Music
station.
channel
Yeah,
in
music
the
channel.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. But Michelle, you mentioned that you're part Korean. So why the name Japanese breakfast?
It was really stupid, I just didn't really think about it very much. I was like, I had a Tumblr at the time that I was just uploading new songs, and I followed a lot of like blogs that posted animated gifs of
Mhm.
like anime food, and it was so I would put up a song, and then like I'd put a animated gif of like Japanese breakfast, and I just thought it was like a very like soothing image. When people would think of our band, they'd think of like something really like soft and nice.
But how in touch are you with like your Korean roots? Do you visit Korea often?
Yeah, I was born in Korea, and I used to visit every other summer when I was a kid. So my mom's whole side of the family lives there, and it was a really big part of my life, sort of like a second home to me. And luckily, because we've toured in Asia a few times, we always end up playing in Korea, which is really fun.
Ooh. Now, being part Korean, do you think that kind of influenced your sound a little bit? Because K-pop is so huge right now. But how would you describe your sound? And did you get any influence from like Korean music?
I can't say that I was too influenced by Korean music. We definitely don't sound like a K-pop band by any
I
means,
know
but
it's so different.
but yeah, I think that we sound like an indie pop kind of band. And there are
Mhm.
like maybe some shoegaze elements, maybe some dream pop elements. But yeah, I think that we have poppy kind of songs, but maybe nowhere near as poppy as K-pop.
So now let's talk about your sound. I hear a little bit of like 80s influence, and I'm not sure if it's because of the percussions with the echo or, or like what was your influence making your record?
Uh, so because I wrote the last two records very much about grief and my mother's passing, I really felt like I wanted to make a joyful record. So the title of the
Hmm.
album is called Jubilee, and the songs are, largely about joy. They're like really big arrangements and very like theatrical and sort of ambitious, and that was kind of what I was going for. Our first single, Be Sweet, definitely has this kind of 80s vibe. I was really inspired just for this single by like Madonna and Whitney Houston and like Janet Jackson. And I think I just like I really wanted to have like this sort of back pocket single that just like was a total jammer and let my like inner diva come out a little bit.
All right,
But the
now
rest
let
of the record is very different.
ooh, like how so?
Yeah.
How different is it?
I think that that's like a pretty common thread with all of our records is that like track to track the songs are very very different. There's a huge range
Hmm.
of influences. For the first track, you have to have like the most like catchy single that you can to like put your best foot forward. But I think that the other songs are maybe almost like a little more like classical and yeah,
Ooh.
there's a lot of strings and a lot of like saxophone and trumpet and stuff like that, so they're more like richer arrangements and maybe a little less straightforward than the first single.
All right, now let's talk about your first single, Be Sweet. So what is the song about?
So I wrote the song in LA with Jack Tatum, who plays in a band called Wild Nothing, and we were
Hmm.
actually partnered together to like just do a writing session potentially for another artist. And so we didn't have like a particular artist that we were assigned to, but we were like, let's write a pop song for some other artist that's not us. And as we started working on it, I just really loved what we came up with and decided to keep it for my own. But I feel like because I thought initially that it might be for another artist, I kind of like let myself be this like sort of like sassy 80s diva that in a way that I normally wouldn't have been.
So what about it made you say, no, I'm keeping this. This is for our band. I want this for my own.
I just thought it was so good, I mean, like Jack is like such an amazing person to work with, and like I think that the second that he laid down the bass line of the song, I was just like, okay, that's like too good to try to pawn off on someone else.
Now let's talk about your music video because here on Mix, actually, we play out music videos
Oh,
and the
great.
fans vote for them, and then we have a chart show and
Oh,
everything. So yeah, so it's kind of
please
like
vote for
people's
me.
choice. Exactly. So we want to know more about the music video. So please tell us about it, the out of this world theme, everything about it.
Yeah, so it's basically like an X-Files fan fiction, and
Mm-hmm.
I directed it, and it stars one of my really good friends who plays in another band, whose band name I can't say on the radio. It's Mannequin P, and
Oh.
yeah, I just like, my cinematographer and I were watching a Spike Jonze DVD, and we were watching the Beastie Boys video for Sabotage, and it just
Mm-hmm.
looked like so much fun, and we wanted to have like this sort of throwback kind of video to fit the sound. And we started we were like, we want to do like this Sabotage video, but we don't want to be police officers. So we started watching a lot of X-Files episodes, and we're like, we should be like special agents. And yeah, that's sort of how it came together. And also because the chorus has the line, I want to believe, which is something that they say on the X-Files a lot. So we just wanted to have a lot of
Oh.
fun with it, and be really goofy, and have this kind of like almost like 80s throwback video.
Well, it seemed a lot of fun shooting it. So did you shoot this in the middle of the pandemic? How was the experience like? Any like memorable moments there?
Yeah, we shot this in the fall. Everyone got tested for COVID, and like it was a really, really small crew. It was only like 5 people, and we actually shot it in
Ooh.
my largely in my backyard and in this
In
like
New
nearby.
York?
Yeah, in upstate New York, and
Oh.
yeah, and we like I paid like a there's this farm that has like a big cornfield for like corn mazes and stuff like that, and it was October, so I like asked if I could like pull a car out and shoot some of the scenes like in a cornfield.
Oh, yes, it's very X-Filesy, Men in Blacky thing that cornfields with a car and everything and people in
Yeah.
suits basically.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so Be Sweet, you performed this on Jimmy Fallon, which was, I know, a very special moment for you guys because you have a song called Jimmy Fallon Big, which we
Mhm.
get. It's like Jimmy Fallon Big, Ellen Big. When artists get to perform in those shows, it's such a big deal. So, can you tell us about Jimmy Fallon Big, the song, and how your bassist apparently came back to your band?
Yeah, so when I used to be in this other band called Little Big League, my bass player was invited to play in another band that was like way more successful than we were. And, he kind of sat me down at my kitchen table and was like,
Mm-hmm.
listen, I love Little Big League, but I've been offered this new job, and like they're going to be Jimmy Fallon Big, and like I have to go and pursue my dream. And, I was like so sad about it because like when you're in a band with someone, they're like a brother to you. And even though I
Mm-hmm.
understood that he had to go like pursue his dream, I was like very heartbroken that we weren't at that level, and that there was some shame that we couldn't do that together. And so I wrote this song called Jimmy Fallon Big, and the main line is like, why walk when you can show up on time? Because I felt like he was in this band, we would get there eventually if he stuck it out, but he left to go be a player in this other band, and that other band went on to play Seth Meyers, but they never
Uh-huh.
played Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy
And then
Fallon.
a year later they fired him, and that was around the time that my new band, Japanese Breakfast, was starting to do really well. And so because they
Oh.
fired him, I was like, you know what? Like my band is starting to take off. We need a bass player. Why don't you join our band? And then 3 years later, we ended up playing Jimmy Fallon together.
Ooh, he must be really good for you, like to take him back after what happened.
Yeah, he's like a really good friend of mine, and he, just like has a really good personality to have on the road. And so, when you find someone like that, that's really rare. You have to keep them around, I think.
How about the other members? Where did they come from? How did you find them?
Well, the guitar player is my husband, and so I kind of just like put him in the band because he's a great guitar player, and it makes it very convenient for touring because I never get lonely. And then Craig was actually, I met him when I was playing in this other band called Little Big League, and he produced
Hmm.
our first album for that. And I just always really liked his energy, and he's like an amazingly like he went to Berklee School of Music, and he's like a
Ooh.
very, very talented music, like a Swiss Army blade of a musician. Like he's a drummer, he's a guitar
Hmm.
player, he's a piano player, he's an incredible voice, he's an amazing producer. And yeah, we worked on a couple songs. We actually worked on Jimmy Fallon Big together, and then we worked on the song Machinist for Soft Sounds from Another Planet. And it was just a
Hmm.
really, really good fit. And we've just gone a lot closer over time, and we recorded Soft Sounds from Another Planet together. And then we also worked on this new album together called Jubilee. So he's the drummer, and he also produces the record.
Speaking of Jubilee, I was fortunate enough to like get a track list. Perks of being in the media. So there are 10 tracks. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so before June 4, are you releasing any of these tracks beforehand?
Yes, we are releasing another single on Thursday, which I'm and a new video. I'm really excited about it. And then in May we'll release our third single. So yeah, we'll be coming out with 3 singles and 2 more videos before it gets released.
Ooh, okay. So I know you can't spoil too much, but can you tell us about this music video that's gonna come out on Thursday?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's like we shot it on 16 millimeter on film. All of the music
Oh.
videos for this album are shot on film, which was something new that we did. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we shot it in a grocery store like overnight. And yeah, it's just like a very haunting, semi bloody video.
In a grocery store?
In
Okay.
a grocery store, yeah. It's pretty
Is it
fun.
like
I
a
really like it.
continuation? Because I saw in the comments of B Sweet, one user said like she's so excited for the J Brecky cinematic universe. So is it like a continuation of that?
Actually, it is like kind of like an epilogue to the next video. So it's connected to the next video in this mysterious way that
Oh.
you'll have to discover in May. I it's the first time that we've done something like that, and I really love that that's what we came up with actually.
So how many videos have you shot so far?
So I've now directed 10 music videos for Japanese Breakfast, and I've done like 3 videos for other artists.
Ooh. But for Jubilee, so 3 videos are
3
basically
videos
done.
total for Jubilee. Yeah, they're all done. The last one's getting edited right now, and the next one is coming out in 3 days.
Ooh, exciting times ahead. Now, Michelle, if you were like to choose one artist to collaborate with, like let's say sky's the limit, and they would immediately say yes to you, who would you choose?
Oh gosh, I mean, there are certain artists that I like adore, but I don't even like want to work with because I don't want to like ruin it. But someone that I am not worried
I
about that
get
with is
that.
actually like I love the 1975, and I particularly love like their production style. I would love to do a
Mhm.
song with like Maddie and George of the 1975.
Yes, and I know they also like do records in like a cabin or like in a farm. We were
Oh
actually
yeah,
talking to Biba Doobie last year, and she was in the farm while we were doing the
oh
interview
that's
with the
so cool.
1975. So I think yes, you
Yeah.
guys would definitely click because you kind of have that same vibe when doing music.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I know we don't have much time with you left, so right now I'm just gonna ask for like a special message for all of your Filipino fans who are watching right now, Michelle.
We love the Philippines. We can't wait to come back. I hope that next year we are able to tour in Manila again, and hopefully we'll see you soon. I hope everyone stays healthy and well and takes care till next year.
And we'll definitely get you that adobo the next time you come
Yeah, and
here.
I expect a good adobo when I'm back. And I also want to be taken to a Jollibee.
Ooh, yes. One of our Filipino sources of Filipino pride, that fast food chain. But thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us. Even though it's pretty late there, we'll be waiting for the new single and the new music video coming out on Thursday. So to everyone watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter right now, do wait for that. And of course, Jubilee comes out on June 4. I hope here in the Philippines as well. June 4, June 5 ish. It depends which time. Is it like midnight? June 4?
It's probably like 9 or 10 a.m. Eastern time in
Okay, I
June
think that's
4.
still
So
June 4
that's like
here.
probably late for you guys. Yeah. I think that's like
Yes.
9 p.m. for you guys. 9 p.m.,
Yes,
10 p.m. Yeah.
probably. So still June 4, guys. Let's wait for that. Thank you so much, Michelle, for telling us about B Sweet and the whole record. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time. And to everyone watching, please do vote for the music video
Vote for
B
my video.
Sweet on our official website, mixph.com. But that's all the time that we have with Michelle's Honor of Japanese Breakfast. Thank you so much for tuning in to this MYXclusive interview. Once again, I'm BJIE from the #1 music channel in the Philippines, Mix. Bye, guys. Thank you. Good morning. And